So, artificial intelligence is creating one of the largest infrastructure buildouts the world has ever seen. But that does not mean necessarily that every company with AI in its investor presentation is going to become a great investment. And you guys know that, I have big aspirations for this AI build out. I just put a video out recently on robo strategy and physical AI. But I wanted to kind of pull back a little bit and just say, hey, you know what? If you're looking to get exposure to the AI sector, I'm going to give you three stocks that you need to own in 2026. And I think that you need to own from now until the end of this decade and most likely beyond. Because these three names are going to give you nice exposure, broad exposure across different sectors. In fact, I think the next phase of the AI trade is going to become much more selective. So if you're somebody who just wants to get exposure for the long term without trying to pick these names, this video is for you. So the easy money was already made when investors could buy almost anything connected to artificial intelligence. But I think the next fortunes could be created by identifying the companies controlling the three resources AI cannot function without. That is computing power, advanced memory, and physical data center capacity. Now, again, I'm not going to go into robotics too much in this video, but I'm very bullish on it. But if I were just creating a trio of companies in one portfolio, that is what I'm going to address today. I'm going to give you the three names. I'm going to give you three AI stocks that I would want to own if I were building a concentrated AI portfolio for the rest of this year and beyond. And these aren't three identical semiconductor companies, right? Each one represents a different layer of the AI economy. The first is the AI computing platform. The second controls the most critical and supply constrained components inside AI systems. And the third one we're going to talk about is a much more aggressive, higher risk play on the physical infrastructure that's powering this entire industry and the entire AI build out. So let's get into it with stock number one, guys. And this one is not going to come to a great surprise, but I will say it's a good time to get into this stock. Nvidia has been amazing. But year to date, we're only up, 3.4%. I've got quite a bit of exposure through some ETFs with Nvidia um, already. I've been in this for a good amount of time, and I do not plan on selling this anytime soon. And NVIDIA isn't simply selling computer chips, right? It has created an entire AI computing platform that includes now GPUs, networking, software, libraries, and just complete systems used to train and operate artificial intelligence models. NVIDIA reported their first quarter fiscal 2027 revenue of 81.6 billion. That was an 85% year over year growth. Data center revenue reached a record, just slightly over $75 billion, increasing by 92% from the previous year. And again, I think you're getting this at a nice discount. Last 3 months, you know, down 8%. It's under $200 right now. Your 52-week high is well above this level at 236. And I think Nvidia, if I'm building out a trio of companies in an AI portfolio, you got to have it. Now, the next name that you're going to know is ticker MU, Micron. And this stock has really had a nice pullback over the last month, down about 23%. But here's what we know, right? Micron supplies the memory that allows these brains to operate effectively, right? If NVIDIA supplies the brains of the AI system, Micron supplies the memory for these brains. And so, again, these three stocks we're going to talk about kind of go hand in hand with each other. And we know that without sufficient memory bandwidth, even the most advanced GPU experiences a major bottleneck. So, investors viewed Micron as a highly cyclical commodity memory company for a long time. Memory prices increased, manufacturers started to expand production, supply then eventually exceeded demand, and prices collapsed. That cycle hasn't completely disappeared, but AI is changing the economics of this industry, right? AI servers require HBM or high bandwidth memory. That creates a powerful combination, rapidly growing demand and structurally constrained supply. And that is why we had the big squeeze. Year to date, we're still up 175%. But I'm looking at Micron right now, pulling back from 52-week highs at 1255, sitting here at $813. I think these stocks, both of them, Nvidia and Micron, this is the time to build out, a trio portfolio, just a household name. You could still go invest in risky assets, but like if you concentrated a portfolio around Nvidia, Micron, and this last one, I think it's going to be very fruitful for you over the next 4 to 5 years. So the next name is a name that I currently own, that I'm actively dollar cost averaging in, and that is IREN. Okay. And you guys can see I currently own it, actually on this portfolio in Robinhood. I've got a couple other different portfolios out there. I've got one with Charles Schwab. I've got a Webull account. So I own stocks in a few different places. But IREN, my position over here on Robinhood, I'm actually underwater. I've got an average cost of $40, but this thing was trading at $76 earlier this year. It's been hit really hard, down 13% year to date, 24% the last 3 months, 27% in the last month. You guys can see though, we're getting down to some interesting levels on this year to date chart where we came down to 31, came down to 33 already in July, and we're back down to this 33 level. So if we bounce hard off of this $31 level, like right in here, 33, 31, like we have multiple times, look out, because I think this stock could really, really run still. It's up 107% last year, but IREN started as a Bitcoin miner. But the reason I'm interested in it today is not just that, it's because they're transforming their business model into a vertically integrated AI cloud and data center company. So companies need land. They need massive amounts of electricity. They need grid connections, cooling systems, data center buildings, GPUs, and the ability to operate all of that equipment reliably. And so that is what IREN provides. They own grid connected sites in energy rich regions already, and they're converting that power portfolio into AI cloud infrastructure. So the company's installing a large fleets of Nvidia GPUs already. They're offering that computing capacity to hyperscalers, AI developers, enterprise customers. And again, I'm giving you these three names at this time on purpose because I think they're all undervalued. IREN announced 2.8 billion in new multi-year AI cloud contracts, and increased its year-end 2026 annualized run rate revenue target to more than 4 billion. And so we've got basically three different names here, right? And if I were building this out, coming back to Nvidia, if I were building this out, like, let's just say if I were allocating 10,000 across these three companies today, let's just say, let's use that number. I'd probably put like 45% of that over in Nvidia, right? Then I'd probably go like 35% into Micron, and then I would probably go 20% into IREN just because it's, high risk, high upside. But Nvidia would have to be the foundation here. Micron would be my second largest position, and IREN would be the smallest allocation because it offers, the greater percentage upside, but also has a lot more risk and volatility with it. And the real opportunity, I think, in AI is larger than, what we've seen before, chatbots and software subscriptions. But I think this gives you a really nice mix. This is why if I were building a trio portfolio, Nvidia, Micron, and IREN would be a great way to go about it, in my opinion. But again, we don't just talk about these three names. We talk about everything related to new technology, AI, robotics, space, drones, quantum computing. We cover it all on this channel, guys. So make sure you do subscribe if you enjoyed this breakdown. And for more coverage on artificial intelligence, robotics, energy, and the companies building the next generation of technology, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which one you believe has the most upside from here and which stock you think I may have left off the list. I can only get you three here in this video, but let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate you all for watching. Thanks.